Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to BCB Live. Drive safe, Dave. Over here in the green, Sir Rick and the producer. If you didn't know it, hey, we have Thankful Thursday interview with Chris, right?
Yes, we do.
Little spoiler alert, it's happening today. But hey, it is Thankful Thursday. Thank you for what you do every single day. Challenges every day. Drive safe. We're at another day of adding to our streak, right? Another 24-hour period in which we like. That's all we can do. We can't make up, right?
Nope.
We can't make up for what happened a couple days ago.
Nope.
All we can do is this 24 hours. And again, it requires action to make this 24 hours the safest you can make it.
It is our chance to make a difference today out there on the road, out there what you do, and you have to work hard at it. It's something you have to work hard at. You know, I really liked yesterday. I talked about it yesterday. I really liked the idea and the concept yesterday where you said you can't get comfortable in safety. You can't get comfortable. And I think that's a great way to look at it. And, you know, today, let's get it happen. Let's make it happen. I mean, we've got a chance to get to another day. And, you know, we can only affect what we can do right now.
Yes, sir. And it's something that we've got to remember. Again, you know, we can't, you know, it is what is. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from other folks' mistakes as well. We focused on our distractions. You know, and drive safe, when we look at the study just came out in 2020 that there were more pedestrian fatalities than ever before. Than a 20%, 22% increase over 2019 with less traffic on the highway.
Yeah, with people, and I think they attributed some of that to the fact that people were driving faster and not paying attention, right?
Yeah, that's what. So Pam Shadle, one of the directors of you know, the communication folks, I guess, to the director on that said, hey, speeding is a huge factor in pedestrian injury and fatalities. And she also the culprits, dangerous and distracted driving.
Wow.
And again, newsflash, we've been speaking about those things.
Yep.
Distractions are real. Speeding is real. Right. When you're speeding in construction zones, when you're distracted, and so many things that we talk about, hey, let's face it, you were distracted. You know, if we could sit back and just talk with you know, turn the cameras off and bring the truck drivers in here when something happened, when the brakes hit automatically or you would know the stories, right? Even without cameras, how many times did bad things happen and it was because of your distraction? Not all the time,
right?
But distractions are real.
They play a huge part. I know, you know, you look back over, and I look back over my driving career. I mean, I've had so many close calls by not paying attention just for a minute, you know, I'm going to be honest, by jacking with my cigarette or looking for my lighter or trying to eat or what have you behind the wheel. Being distracted behind the wheel, it's real. It's what you do. You spend a lot of hours there, and you spend a lot of time in doing your job and working, and it becomes easy to be somewhat distracted. I mean, you can be distracted here in your office at your desk, and what may happen, you might get yelled at a little bit, but I'm telling you, behind the wheel, that's where you have to maintain your focus.
Yeah, a whole different kind of level, and it's something that we talk to our kids about when they're driving the cars as well, because we see it with them. Hell, we see it with us, David. I mean, in our cars, we see it, and
Wait,
so
I got a text.
Exactly.
Wait,
it's just going to take a second.
Yeah,
I'm at a stoplight. You know what? I'm at a stoplight.
It can't be.
And when you're at a stoplight, heck, I do it sometimes. I get it. Now I'm at a stoplight. And it is just and I tell myself, why am I doing this?
Right.
Stop. You know, even at a stoplight, it's not safe. Because you're not focused. You could turn left when everybody starts moving, right?
Yeah.
You don't pay attention.
Yeah, throw the phone in the glove box, in the console. I've been throwing my wife started it. She's been grabbing my phone and pitching it in the console, just throwing it down in there. Now if a phone call comes in, I can answer it with the Bluetooth, but the text, the emails, the other stuff, that distracting thing, it's not like I need a map to get to the office. Right. I mean, I don't need to look at a map to go to the grocery store.
And it encompasses all that. Distraction's real, speeding's real.
Oh, yeah.
It's something we've got to watch. And again, it just came out. We've been talking about it, and here it is. It just got published. It's the largest increase we've seen year over year. Yeah, and Drive Safe, we knew it. And drivers, I'm talking to you again because you remember, Dave, during the pandemic when we owned the highway?
Yeah.
Nobody else is on the highway but us. and yet it still happened.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's crazy to think. And nobody was even outside.
No.
Who was going to the store?
No,
Who was going to the movie?
We weren't sure if you can get COVID from looking at somebody, right? Don't look at me.
And I'm telling you, the dangers are real. You've got to be careful. And we were talking, and we continue to talk about intersections, and we continue to talk about school zones. Those kids are going to come out between cars. Those children are going to run out. They're not going to pay attention, and we're going to continue to talk about this stuff. You cannot give up your attention to the road. You cannot, and you need to be prepared to stop.
Yes, but distractions aren't just us when we're driving, right? Some of the things they're speaking of are pedestrians as well. Those are the folks wearing their headsets, walking down, jamming to the music, not listening to anything. They don't hear the sirens. They don't hear the honk. They don't do it because they're living in their own world. Drive safe. Has you ever driven down the road and like somebody exercising, they just walk out into the road. They don't pay attention.
Or I've seen a guy walking out into the road reading an email or reading a text. Texting while he's walking out in the road. I'm going, are you kidding me? I get it being distracted. But but there you're out in the middle of traffic and you're reading your phone.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to look around and make sure you're not going to get run over?
Amen.
And a lot of these, reading off this study, a lot of the people who were affected by this, a lot of the states that saw these huge increases, like 20% or something like that, were in urban populations. It was a lot of people who were in these crosswalks, a lot of pedestrians, people jaywalking. I know we're all guilty of jaywalking. We've all done it at some point, but maybe not you guys. Maybe you're a little bit higher up than I am.
Here
but
goes. He's coming clean.
Wow.
He's coming
all right,
clean.
yeah, maybe.
Lawbreaker.
Some things we just don't do. Some things like, you know what? That's what crosswalks are for.
It is what crosswalks
I can
are
say
for.
myself, my family, Drive Safe, his family, we've never done that.
No,
Never in your life. You never jaywalk. Okay, so let me just be clear here. Drive Safe Dave, who has gone to jail, never jaywalked.
Wow. Hey, whoa, slow down.
Hey, some lines he just won't cross, right?
Oh,
Some
okay,
lines he just
okay.
won't cross. There's no doubt about it. Hey, Drive Safe, did you watch, so real quick, just a little bit of sports. LeBron James yesterday hits a game-winning three-point shot. All right, so the Lakers are playing in. So, I don't watch a lot of NBA, but I do get it around playoff time. So we're at the playoff, and they got the first ever, play-in game. So LeBron James and the Lakers are playing against Golden State. LeBron hits the 3 points. They win it. But let's face it. Now he's the lowest seeded team or the second to the lowest seeded team. So way down there. They're playing against the mighty Phoenix teams, number 2 seed.
Yeah.
And the Lakers are favored in the series. I mean, I'm telling you, who wants to play the Lakers? And no matter what, they're still loaded.
Yeah,
They've fallen apart, but it's one of those teams, it's like fighting an injured tiger. You probably still don't want to fight them, right?
That's when you don't want to fight him. That's when you don't want to grab a hold of an injured animal.
So here it is. The Lakers win the game, last second shot. One of the lowest seeded teams, and they're favored to beat the number 2 seed. And I'm thinking, if you're the number 2 seed, you're like, what the heck?
Yeah,
I got to play this team?
It's the Lakers.
And in other breaking news, if you didn't see it, Texas's own, what's his name, Kluber for the Yankees, pitched a no-hitter yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, as always, and against the Rangers.
Of course.
So Rangers got a no-hitter pitched against the mighty Yankees. They did it again. A no-hitter. Corey pitched it. No-hitter. Great job on that. Exciting. So I didn't go to the game. I gave my tickets. Listen to this. I gave my tickets to my daughter, Katie.
Yeah.
And her 4 friends, sophomores. They all go to the game. And I called her last night on the way home. I said, hey, what'd you think? She goes, it was boring. There was not a lot of action. I was like, it's a no-hitter. It was a no-hitter. I mean, I've never seen one of them. Now, granted, there's been more this year pitched than ever before, but still unbelievable. She was at the game.
It's $10 says they used up half their battery juice inside the stadium.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Looking at their phone.
They met somebody. Here it goes again. They met somebody famous, and I was like, well, who was it? Oh, you wouldn't know him. He's TikTok famous. I still don't even get what that means. What does TikTok famous mean?
It means an average Joe has got a lot of hits and gets to be looked at, and he's just TikTok famous.
I don't get what's this world coming to is what I think when I hear that part right there. Hey, Drive Safe Dave, we did a couple of big trucking news. Probably the biggest trucking news around in Texas is that bill that we talked about a couple weeks ago in April. it got passed by the Senate.
Nice.
Okay, that bill there is to protect trucking companies from, from being, held liable for the decision that that one of their drivers makes. So if a driver makes a bad decision in the past, that allowed those insurance to go after that company and get everything, put them out of business. And they've kind of gone through that, and they've stopped that. Now, there's one change that's got to go to the House now for final approval before Governor Abbott signs it. But another big step, because Texas was bad.
Well,
it's one of the worst.
I think what it does is a little bit is it levels the playing field on that tort law, and it allows certain evidence to be presented that wasn't before and was up to judges' discretion. And I think there's a lot of neat rules that are going to make it just a little bit better. Overall, instead of just the ambulance chasers running around and just going after companies indiscriminately, and it's like trucking companies went in there with their hands tied behind their back. It
was bad. It was much like back in the day when work comp was in Texas. And Texas was, they fought the work comp. Right?
Yeah.
They said, well, you know what? This is what your ear's worth. There's no more work comp. They put a value on everything because and I get right is right and wrong is wrong. I get that part right there, and I guess and I also get this right here, Drive Safe, that if trucking companies are out there running drivers illegally, intentionally, get rid of them.
Right.
Exactly. If drivers are doing the same thing, not paying attention, unplugging their thing, there's no place in this world for them.
No.
Okay, and I really think that this is what this is for. It allows you. So here's what it does, Drive Safe. If that trucking company is doing all that, go for it. You can prove that out.
Right.
So now it's on them to prove that company is doing that, is forcing you to run illegal.
Yeah,
I think there's no room for those folks.
I agree.
There's zero room for anybody that doesn't value safety to that degree. That passion that we have and Drive Safe, it's not the passion that says you're never going to have an accident. It's that passion that says, what is in my control, I will control.
Right. And do what you can and continue to work at it. Now, I'll tell you that I do like the new tort reform is basically what it is. And there's still more that needs to be done. I truly believe that. I think there should be some limitations. I don't think there should be, but I get it. Everybody thinks that, rarely do they even say truck. They just say a big rig hit them, right? And then you got the hammer running around with the hammer on TV. For no reason whatsoever. It's like it's the truck that did it, not people behind the wheel.
Yes, I mean this is a trucking company that we know that's dealing with an accident in like a little bit of East Texas. The other car hit that truck. No fatalities. Nothing bad like that. But yet they're still trying to go after him. And the car hit the truck.
Right.
The car hit the truck. And I'm thinking at some point that's not what it's for.
Nope.
That's not what laws are for. It's not, quit. Those attorneys just stop. Your client hit them.
It's called equity, and it's not equitable when you go after people for no reason whatsoever, except for a money grab. It's not equitable.
Hey, on accountability and kind of going down that road as well. Hey, listen, that bridge that we've been talking about is closed for 6, 7, 8 more weeks, right? Up going across into Tennessee.
I-40.
Yeah, the bridge inspector has been fired. Okay,
Shocker.
yeah, so he is fired, and I said yesterday, the day before Drive Safe, that the drone saw it in 2019, but also the drone saw that same crack in 2020.
You didn't say that last time.
2020, yeah. So it saw it both times, in which they said, "Hey, you can't do this." So the guy was, the inspector was fired. Drive Safe, and I will tell you this too. You'll like this, that it's gone now from a crack to where's it at? A significant fracture. It's been upgraded to a significant fracture, which I think we looked at that. We were like, that's not a crack.
That's what we said too. And the bone sticking out, that's a significant fracture. That's no longer a crack.
So I think they listened to you. Once again, BCB Live is reaching out to the folks. They're saying, you know what? Drive Safe Dave said it first, that this is no crack. This is something more significant. They've upgraded it to a significant fracture.
That means broken.
Hey, it is Buckle Up Bob is back, and it's time for Buckle Up Bob to get in here and talk to us about safety. Drive Safe.
It is, and Bob's going to welcome back, and it's nice that Bob's back during Thankful Thursday.
Yes, it is.
Hello? Drive safe, Dave. Uh-huh. No, I'm working on it. I'm on the other line with the vendor right now. Yeah, I should know something shortly. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, I'll tell you what, I'll call you right back when I get off the phone with them. Perfect. Jeez. Uh-huh. Yes. Oh, I'm sure it's a real problem. Uh-huh. No. I'll tell you what. Let me call the shop and I'll get right on this. And if you'll give me just a few minutes, I'll get right back to you. I'll call you right back. Okay? Absolutely. All right. Be safe out there. That gets them every time.
Good morning, Drive Safe Dave.
What's going on? Welcome back, Bob.
Well, good to be back, believe it or not. But I see you've been talking about some intersections.
I have. We have as a group been talking about intersections this week.
And today it looks like we want to talk about some yield and stop signs, the difference between the two, knowing the difference, right? And the difference between them.
Yeah, we talked about traffic controlled lights and stale green lights and lights and that. And then we did merge points. And then after that, yesterday we did crossings. And then today, I thought we would just bring up that famous, incredible, all-knowing, all-stop sign and yield sign. And those are two traffic signs that you go to and you approach each and every day, and knowing what to do at those stop signs. We're, as professionals, we view them, and I think we view them differently, and four-wheelers view them. And Dylan, I know you're probably guilty of it as well. Roll, stop, a stop sign, and I've done it. You've probably done it. And knowing what to do in those instances is very important. Listen, they're both yield points. It doesn't matter if you look at a yield sign or a stop sign, they're both yield. You have to yield to the right-of-way in both of those instances to the intersection. No matter whenever you get to an intersection, you have to yield to whatever traffic is in the intersection. It doesn't matter. If there's something in the intersection, you have to yield to it. And I'm telling you, when you have a yield sign, that is even a more evident deal to yield to other traffic entering the intersection. And then a stop sign is the same thing. However, it requires you to come to a complete stop, the vehicle all the way to a stop, to ensure that you have time to look both ways. A lot of the times, yield signs are there at an intersection because it's a one-way traffic, right?
Right.
One way. So you get to
Usually,
look one
yes.
direction, and you can look to the left or whatever, and then turn onto the one-way road or what have you. And it allows you to see that, and you can just kind of merge in, right? You kind of can roll. But a stop sign is there because a lot of times it's multi-directional, right? Or it is a true T, right? So you get to a stop sign, you must stop behind the stop sign. You have to stop behind. Now, if you need to proceed forward to view the intersection better and roll forward, but you still have to wait until the intersection is clear and it is safe to proceed.
Yes.
That is the rule, and that is what a stop sign. You know that I saw on a study that said that stop signs are so ingrained in our psyche that we no longer read the word stop. We just see the octagonal sign, and,
Yes.
and it's just in fact, they've done studies where they've just put the octagonal sign up there with a red plate and erased the words, and then had people stop and go through it, and they pulled them over, and they asked them what the sign said, and they all said the same thing. It says stop on it. They still saw stop on the sign in their brain because they're not reading it anymore. It's an image, it's an emblem, and it's something that they recognize so universally that they no longer have to have the word on it. But it's still no matter if it's faded or gone or whatever, but that octagonal sign that's red that is on an intersection universally is a stop sign. And you need to stop, and you need to make sure that you proceed. And we talk about these intersections, and we're talking about it, and we're going through it. It's no joke. A lot of accidents happen at these stop signs because people roll through them or they ignore them. It's been this year alone, Bob, we had an accident at a stop sign because we failed to stop.
Yep. We rolled through it.
We rolled through the stop sign. And I know that everybody has done it, but I'm telling you, as professionals, as doing out there on the road, you've got to come to a complete stop. that truck needs to not move. It needs to go to a complete stop and then proceed until it's safe to do so. That's how important these stop signs are, because they are there to protect. You know, they normally put stop signs up in locations that, and they measure them. They go and they judge them and they look at them and they see your point of view and your visual, and they understand that sometimes you'll need to stop and move forward out there a little bit to see, but you still have to do so and not proceed into the lane until it's safe to do so.
Yeah, correct. And, you know, the other thing is signs always, to me, especially the two you're talking about, yield and stop. That's the same equivalent as a yellow and a red light,
Absolutely.
correct?
Absolutely.
When you yield, it's like a yellow. It doesn't mean you got to be prepared to stop.
Absolutely.
Because once you see there's something out in the line of traffic that you have to yield to, you may have to stop. There may be two or three, especially if it's a one-way, right? So you may have to stop, just like a yellow light. And then, of course, stop sign, you absolutely have to stop, right?
Yeah, you in both instances, you don't have right of way.
No.
So
Correct.
that's what you have to understand at these signs, that you don't have right of way in either one of these instances as you approach the intersection. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have right of way in that intersection as you approach the intersection. You are forced to stop and then proceed only after you have only the right of way is given back to you, right?
Yep.
Even if it's a four-way stop, right? You don't have right of way in that intersection until you come to a complete stop. And you've got to understand that that's what it is. That's what it's about. And even the yield sign, you don't have right of way in that intersection. Not a yield sign.
No.
You can proceed in there if it's safe to do so, but you don't have right of way. And that's what that means. The other traffic has right of way, and you have to continue on in a safe manner. I want everybody today, if they can, I would like to see everybody today. All of you are going to run into stop signs today. If you're out running today, you're going to see a stop sign, and you're going to touch one today, and you're going to get around one today. Do me a favor, come to a complete stop. Come to a complete stop.
Yes.
And look around and just see how many people don't. See how many people don't obey stop signs.
Is it okay to stop at a yield sign?
It is okay to stop at a yield sign. In fact, you're required to stop.
I would recommend it, even if it's clear, really almost come to that complete stop just to make sure you didn't miss something.
Right.
Just make sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of times when you
give it a
can't
quick
come to a
glance.
complete stop because you have to yield to like traffic that's exiting the freeway and you're on the side road. You must be prepared to stop, but you don't have to stop if there's nobody there. I mean but it's
not illegal to stop.
It is not illegal to stop.
Treat that as a stop sign. Yes.
That is correct.
Good points. Good points. What do you think the most ignored traffic sign is out there? What would be your guess?
Speed limit.
Yeah, I would too. That's why I would think so. Speed limit would have to be, and we've seen it in our own industry. And I'm as guilty as anybody else. You know, we're no better than anybody else.
And feel like we're justified in doing so. That to me is probably the most difficult thing to accept, is that we feel like as long as you're going only 2 or 3 miles over the speed limit, you're safe, right?
Yes.
I mean, do you feel that way, Dylan? I mean, I think. And we all think that way, but that's not the way to do it. I mean, it's not. And you know, how many people really slow down on those turns that recommend that it go 45 miles an hour around the curve? You know what I mean? Those speed limit signs, those signs out there that are there for your safety. How many people are usually doing those?
Yeah. Well, you always hear Sir Rick say, right? If you don't say nothing, you're telling them it's okay, right? And we hear that a lot when we talk to drivers about speed. And again, this is not something that says our drivers are bad. This is something that we all do, not just truck drivers, right? But when I talk to them, they'll say, well, I know that area, the police aren't going to pull you over if you're only 2 or 3 or 4 over. As long as you're under 5 miles over the posted, they're going to let you go. And it's like, well, that doesn't make it safe. That just means you think you've got the system figured out, but you're manipulating the system. When we're talking about safety, it really needs to be that mindset, hey, I can set this cruise at 2 or 3 under that posted limit just as easy as 2 or 3 over.
Yeah, you know, and Bob, I just, the reason I think stop signs are important to talk about when we talk about intersections are dangerous, right?
They are. I lost my grandfather to an intersection.
Yeah, so, and you know, we had an accident at a stop sign. So it's very real. It ruined our streak on one time. and we've got to understand that we have to come to a complete stop. And not just say, well, it's clear I can go or nobody's around. You've got, even in the most, if you do it every time, you do it every time, right?
Yes.
And you keep it a habit and a practice, and that's probably the best thing you can do, is make it every single time. Just do it every time.
Can you hit somebody if you're stopped, Dave?
You cannot hit anybody if you're stopped.
There you go. Right? You can be hit, but you cannot hit anybody if you're stopped.
That's correct.
So great points, good discussions this week. And I see you let me down.
I didn't let you down.
Well, they say you were my replacement, so you lost the streak on your watch.
Wait a minute.
On your watch, Drive Safe. Well, now, wait a minute. I remember when I went on vacation a few weeks ago, you came back and you took all the credit for keeping the streak alive.
That's true.
So now you got to kind of take the hit for losing it.
There we go. I get it. All right. I'll take that one.
But you know what? We had a good run there. And the streaks, folks, the streaks are just a measurement tool, if you will. I think, and Drive Safe Dave agrees, is the videos really tell us where our culture's at. And, you know, this particular accident, you're going to see today in some videos, this is our problem. This is something we have to, as a company, as a fleet, really get behind, and it's the speed and space management. We have to recognize that 10 cars on the road in our vision of sight is traffic.
Right.
It's enough to slow it down and increase space, right? But the good news is we are 2 days away
From a record.
from tying our Get Out and Look record. So great job, everybody. Let's keep that going. The record is 38. We are at 36.
Fantastic.
So we will tie it Saturday, break it Sunday. Next Monday we'll come in and we'll be just extending our record. But we are at 2 days. Again, still investigating it, but you know, it does seem like speed and space was a critical factors in this one. And so it's just so important that we slow it down, increase that space. And you're going to see some videos a little bit later that we're just not quite there yet.
Right.
You know, we had a good run there for a couple of weeks where we just weren't seeing anything. And now it's kind of creeping back. And that's where we talk about, if you practice it, right, you're going to do it then every time. Like you said, if you stop every time, then you will stop every time. It's just the way you practice. We do have some storms. What do we got? 7 a.m. So we got some rain, some strong storms right along the border here. There they are. There's some severe storms there that, well, it changed already. Good deal. That was right here and then stretching up into Oklahoma City. Thunderstorms. What do we got? So you can see this, and I think this pushes up as we go through the day. And that's what's going to bring some more. You know, it kind of pushes up into Louisiana. So there it is. So around 1 p.m., you can see that strong cell right on the border there, 20, what is that, Shreveport area? And then just right there southwest of, or east of Oklahoma City. Some snow, Dave. Still got some snow. Actually, I heard on the radio yesterday coming in, they are expecting 15 inches up there in Montana in them passes. So we want to kind of watch Montana if we got anything going up there next few days. They're going to be able to treat it because it's that time of year where it's going to warm up. See what their temperature is supposed to get.
Well, the good thing is the ground's warm.
Yes.
All right, it's cool today, and it's coming down from the sky, but the ground's warm, which means they're going to be able to knock it down pretty quick.
And it's only going to be in the upper elevations, right?
Right.
You can see there, we got 63 in Billings, right?
Yep.
So the ground is warm, as Dry Say Day. So this is going to be one of those. It's just going to be in the extreme elevations. We have some wind. It's going to kick up around 9 or 10 o'clock this morning. Start out here, and then you're going to see.
Wow.
We're going to have some really strong winds, folks, and we're going to have some along the Mississippi River as well as the day goes by. So we will be setting up some geofences here this morning, and then you can see Utah, Arizona. What is that, I-40? The Flagstaff area is going to be bad today, folks. Yeah, there you go, Flagstaff right in it. We're looking at the 50-mile-an-hour gusts, right? So again, we'll have some geofences. This has got to use good judgment. We do not, just so you know, we do not need to be moving if we have 51-mile-an-hour gusts. Currently, we got 37-mile gusts already this morning. What is that, Kingman?
Yep.
Arizona. See any other brown ones there? That's usually the ones up here in Utah. What do we got? 33 mile an hour gusts. So we've already are in the approaching that mid 30s gusts in Utah, Arizona, and even out here in California. We already got some 45 mile an hour gusts, folks. So we're going to get them fences set up right away so everybody gets warned that we got some wind today. It is expected, I believe, to keep going. Yeah, see, it dies a little bit, but you see it's still going to be windy even at midnight. Same thing with the storms. They start to die down as well. It's mainly going to be here along that Oklahoma, stretching right along the state lines there. Kansas City starts to fire up some. Again, around midnight this is. This is the forecast. And then at 6 a.m. tomorrow, just along that Gulf Coast, still got some snow in the upper elevations. So, again, we're going to have some wind, snow, rain, if you will. But just going to be kind of isolated in most areas, just right along this. There is no river there, is there? But Louisiana, Texas, right on Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, and Missouri borders. Then it branches out into Iowa. So, again, we got some storms. Watch them. We're going to see a picture today that one of our drivers sent in from yesterday's storms. It was pretty wicked lightning. So, got a pretty good light show, if you will. Again, theme, as you could see, and it falls right on the heels of our accident earlier this week, is we gotta slow down and we gotta keep the space. And what you're gonna find is if you focus on the space, you will slow down. I mean, you have to almost to be able to increase your spacing.
Yeah, we're talking about it all the time, and you have to be able to control that area directly in front of the vehicle. It is your responsibility to control that. It may be taken away from you, but your job is to get it back.
Yeah.
And that means slowing down. That means touching the brakes. That means backing off, getting off the accelerator, getting out of the cruise if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
When you approach these situations and if you're going 72 miles an hour, you're already on the cruise, right?
Yes.
All you got to do is tap the brake and you're off the cruise, and you'll slow down 1 or 2 or 3 miles an hour, and you'll maintain that distance, and you'll be able to control that speed. Mm-hmm. I mean, that space in front of the truck. We're getting too close in all these vehicles.
Mm-hmm. And I get, the drivers always say, well, if you're going uphill, then you lose all the momentum. And I wanted to touch on that a little bit because I got reminded of that going through Missouri. I lost it, going up the hills, and I'm like, and then you get back, and then trucks will jump out. And now I feel like I'm losing a half hour, right? Because I got to wait for all them trucks to pass that vehicle. And then I lost my momentum as well, and I got frustrated. I got really aggravated at the trucks. I got aggravated at everybody, but then I was thinking, but you know what? What did I lose? I didn't lose anything.
Nope.
I didn't lose a darn thing. And so, it just reminded me a little bit to experience what you all are talking about, which I knew what it was, but it's just always nice to be reminded of that in a real-time situation. But then also to be able to come back and remind you all, you don't lose what you think, and it's just not worth it what you're risking. The risk versus reward is nowhere near it. It's like betting 50 cents to win $1, right? It's just, there's no reward there, right? But there's a risk for a loss. So why? Why? And that's what you got to ask yourself, because if you answer that question honestly, you will never come up with a good reason. You just won't. I did it to myself. I said, why are you mad? There was no good answer, right? And at the end of the day, I got home safely. I made good time. Everything was fine, and it was just like the few times to get aggravated. And when you're up and down them hills in Missouri, Maryland, right, Pennsylvania, all them, it's just going to happen. It's just a fact. You just got to be patient and slow that chaos down and enjoy the ride a little bit.
Absolutely,
I guess.
yeah.
Right?
You got to be a little bit okay with what's going on.
Yeah.
You got to be okay with what's happening. You got to be accepting of the fact that the situation around you is not optimal, but you just got to adjust your speed and your space to what the situation is, and be okay with it and understand. You know what? I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure that I'm safe. And I'm telling you, if you you weren't dropped to 55 no. So I mean, even if at 55 miles an hour, if you were running 65 before, if you did it for 5-6 minutes, you didn't even lose. You didn't even lose a quarter mile over time. A quarter mile. What does that take? 15 seconds at 60?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Seriously, you got to realize the numbers and understand that you're not losing anything at all. But what you are gaining is the knowledge that you're safe and that you're able to stop when if needed to do so. I mean, that's what you need to be able to understand. You want to be able to stop. And getting behind that truck and understanding that one going up a hill, he could stop pretty quick.
Yes.
You know that, right? When he's going up a hill and he weighs as much as he does and he gets on the brakes, that truck's going to come to a stop fast going up the hill. Now, going down the hill, it's a little bit different story, but going up the hill, that 18 tires gripping and that weight pushing down and losing, when he's going up, the gravity's working in his favor. He will come to, if he has to get on it, he's coming to a stop faster than you think because he's going uphill. You got to be prepared to stop. You got to be prepared in the knowledge that you have to give that space enough. You have to be giving that space up. You have to be.
Yeah, and you always, when you drive down the highway, you recognize certain vehicles that just stand out for whatever reason. And I was like, well, there's the one we were following 10 miles back, and now 10 miles later, we're right there with them.
Absolutely.
So we didn't lose anything. I noticed it with 2 trucks hauling pontoon boats, right? So you kind of remember that. It's like, oh, they were ahead of us, and the truck dropped out, right? Oh. And then 5 miles down the road, there we are with the pontoon boats again. So we didn't lose anything.
Oh yeah,
right?
I would see, I would see out on the road, I would see that same guy with pulling that trailer. The one that's trying to get around, racing around you, trying to get around you, and then he stops and gets fuel, and then stops and gets a hot dog or something, and then 30 minutes later, here he comes again.
Yeah.
And then he may pass you 5 times on the road. Driving crazy because that's the way he drives.
Yes.
And he doesn't drive any other way. And because you're out there on the open road rolling and you're keeping that left door closed, you're maintaining a constant speed and you're going to make great time. And you're not that fool out there trying to act crazy and weird.
Right. And as I've always told my kids, and I think my mom always told me, but there's one thing you can't fix. You know what it is? Stupid. You can't fix stupid, right? So like you said, let the crazies be crazies. Right? Let them go. You can't fix them.
No.
And you're not going to.
Yeah, you just got to be mindful of them and you got to be prepared to stay away from them and then know that what you do is the right thing all the time. And keeping that space is very, very important. Great job. Great videos today.
Yeah, I appreciate you helping out through these 3 days for me. Drive safe. Producer, do we got any callers? Nobody on a Thankful Thursday. I apologize to the fleet. I did not put anything about Thankful Thursday in there. I guess I'm not all the way back in the swing of things.
Give it a minute, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you that right there is we were talking about crossings yesterday. Yeah. Didn't we talk about crossings yesterday? We talked about crossings, and railroad was one of the crossings that we talked about and the dangers of it. Here we are doing it, and if that guy had just listened to the show yesterday, he would have been a little bit better off.
And all them signs are reminders to just slow down, right? Start slowing down, be prepared to stop.
All right.
Well, hey, thanks everybody. And with that, it's time for
Ache Ere.
Good morning. It is Thankful Thursday. And today I want to say that I am thankful for a new day and a chance for us to always do better. And, once we know better, we do better. So we in HR are going to try and do our absolute best to help you guys. We know safety is the most important thing. So we're really going to make every effort when we're contacting you, if we need to talk to you, to make sure that we know if you're driving or if you're sleeping. We definitely don't want to wake you up. But to try to eliminate those phone calls while you're driving. So if you call us, please don't be driving at the time, but give us a call. If you don't get us, leave us a voicemail. If you know that you're going to be stopping in an hour or a couple hours, give us that information so we'll know the best time to call you, or let us know if it's easy to just send you an email. Same thing if it's not anything very urgent. If you want to just send us an email when you're pulled over, that way we can just respond to that. And then when you're safe, you can read that and do that at your earliest convenience. We want to definitely minimize any distractions, and we don't want to add to that problem. So that's one thing we're gonna, do our best to try and help you and let us know if there's anything else that we can do. And today we have 2 anniversaries, and the first one is for Leonard Housley. He's celebrating 2 years. And the next one is for someone that I'm also very thankful for. It is for Shelly Brown. She's also celebrating 2 years today. She does so much for all of us. I can't imagine this place without her. I'm really, really thankful for her. I'm thankful for all of you, but a little more for her today. Happy anniversary, Shelly. Happy anniversary, Leonard. Everyone, please continue to wear your mask, wash those hands, use your antibacterial. Stay safe out there. Stay healthy. Thank you.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to this morning. And this is another episode of Get to Know the Driver. It's Thankful Thursday, and we want to get to know Chris Wasson. What's going on, man?
Not much.
Hey, guys, surprised you out in the parking lot?
Styling and profiling.
I surprised
Yeah.
you. Jumping
Got a VIP parking out there.
Yeah, I caught you out of the parking lot. I just wanted to find a way to come in and get everybody to know you, get everybody to get a chance to meet you and know a little bit more about Chris. I got one quick question. I know it's important. Who's your sidekick out there in the truck?
That is my dog of 12 years, Pepper,
Pepper.
my little co-driver.
Yeah, Pepper was not excited. I leaped up on the
No.
side of the truck and said, "Hey, Chris, you got a minute?" Pepper looked at me and went, "Ruff."
Well,
And
she don't like anybody getting close to her home. That's
No.
her house, and you got too close.
It didn't go crazy. Just let me know, hey, not comfortable.
Yeah.
You're not in the right spot.
She lets me know when somebody's outside.
Oh, that's good.
And, the 45 I got does the rest.
Woo! And then, so I was going to ask you and talk to you really quickly about who you are and where you come from. So, where are you from originally?
I am born and bred in Texas,
Whereabouts?
Abilene.
Oh, really?
Born in Abilene, raised up in El Paso. And
Did you go to high school out there and everything?
no, Dad got sick and moved to my grandparents in Greenville, Wolf City, Texas. I don't know if you're
Wolf's-
familiar with Wolf City, Texas.
Wolf City, Texas.
Between Greenville and Commerce.
Yeah, I know where Wolf City's at.
And I went to school out there. Played football star.
There you go. We got a professional.
Two-way school. You know what I mean? It's not hard to be a star at a two-way school.
Hey, but you know that a lot of the identity of those small towns is built up into those high school teams. you know?
Graduating class of 36 people, man.
Nice, nice. No,
Yeah.
no stranger.
No. Everybody knew I was getting into something before I did. Yeah, man.
It's hard to lie in a small town
No,
like that.
forget about it. But they all knew me, even the police.
Yeah, no, I know, but you know what? There's 36 seniors.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
crazy.
like you got to know a lot of people,
No.
right? I mean, and half of them are good, not out causing problems.
No, we road trip, run the back roads and drank, bonfires, all that good stuff. But close knit people,
Right.
good old boys, good old
Having
country
fun.
boys. Yeah,
Having fun.
yeah, that's it. Staying out of trouble.
Your family still live in that area, or
No, man. Unfortunately, I lost my parents and my grandparents young.
oh, you did?
And, yeah, unfortunately, I got my aunt's. She's hanging in there, but everybody's getting old.
Including me.
Yeah, and me. I look in the mirror every day. I was like, oh my God, what happened?
Besides the too many hot dogs and Pepsis, besides that part, what? Too many days, right? Too many miles under the road.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
More time you spend in the truck, the bigger you get.
So, Chris, how long you been driving?
Since 2008.
Oh,
Almost
what'd you
12
do before
years.
that? What'd you do before that?
Sold cars.
Oh, you did up
Yeah.
there. Whereabouts?
Park Cities Volkswagen.
Wow.
Park Cities over there in Lemon.
Right.
Lemon and
Oh
Oakland.
yeah, over there by the airport.
Uh-huh.
Over
Sold
there, right there. I mean,
Volkswagens.
they're taking off and landing right there.
And I believe that dealership's still there too.
Oh yeah, I think it is. Is it still
It's been
called
a
Park
long-
City? It's still
I don't
called
know.
Park Cities?
I don't even know if it's got the same
wait a
owner.
minute. I think
Bobby
Sewell,
Beck was the owner there.
Yeah, I think Sewell bought them.
Sewell
No,
bought 'em.
I think-
That makes sense because
Yeah.
they're all over there.
Yeah, I think Sewell bought them.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they're all over there.
I did well selling cars, but I just wanted, I would talk to the truck drivers that brought the cars in.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Car haulers?
Car haulers, yeah. And, I talked to them, and they told me how their lifestyle was. And I was like, man, that's me 100%.
Nobody telling you what to do.
Just
out
me,
there on the
myself, and I.
and my dog, Pepper.
Well, I didn't even have a dog at the time.
Yeah,
but
but it wasn't far behind.
no, it was about 2 years. Like, man, I wonder what it'd be like to have a pet on board. A little company, get me out of the truck to keep me in shape, and it did good for a little while till she got old, and then I got lazy. But we would get out, run around the rest areas. work
Okay,
out.
you're not running anywhere. Be
No.
honest with me and yourself.
If I did that, I'd probably have a heart attack. Yeah, I got to be real careful what I do these days.
Yeah. I don't think the running thing is probably, but getting out walking around probably not a bad
Brisk
thing.
walk.
Brisk walk.
You know
with a
that.
purpose. We call that walking with a purpose.
You got to strut it, going down the park.
Did you? So when you, did you start car hauling or did you?
No. I started with Stevens Transport.
Run a dry box.
Reefer.
Reefer. Okay.
Did the trainee, and then the trainee, what they call the Dumb and Dumber.
Right.
And they would send us up there to the Bronx, New York,
Oh yeah.
that third week. And man, it was white knuckling the whole time.
Right. Over there in those, and then every other street is a low bridge. And
I think we actually
and a
we missed
one-way.
our exit, and we actually had to go through the 5 bureaus
oh,
to get back to that.
I-
That's how bad it was.
I had to drive all the way through Queens, Manhattan.
Oh.
I had to cross over into I don't.
You remember? You did those?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't stand. I can't stand any of the 5 boroughs. You know what? I don't even like going over the GW or the Tap Z anymore.
No.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But there are days when it can be. You can roll over it within 30, 40 minutes, or you can be there 4 or 5 hours.
Yep. Easily, and you don't know when it.
It doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what time. It doesn't matter when. It's that crazy all the time.
You really do have to go in there at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
If you want to roll through, and you just gotta. I'm just saying it doesn't matter. It could
Yeah,
it could
it could be
change
bad.
in a second.
You remember that big snowstorm they got? I can't remember what year it was. I want to
They
say.
get a bunch of them.
Well, this one was like crazy. I mean, everything was shut down. I was stuck in it, regardless of what it was. Started out in Connecticut, try to work my way down.
On 95 or
Yeah,
you were
95, and man, you talk about something you don't ever forget. But yeah, I'm done. I don't. You can keep
I
all
used
that.
to run wine casks from Napa Valley, full wine, all the
Nice.
way to Providence.
Wow, that's a good
And-
run.
Yeah, and I was heavy, and I would roll in there, and it'd be snowing or be bad, big, and you're so heavy, you just push through the snow. You just
Yeah,
Now ice, different ball game, but snow,
no problem.
no problem.
Yeah.
I'll get through that. I'll figure it. The only thing I don't like about the snow in that area is you don't know where the fire hydrants are on the corners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got that little stick in there that you're supposed to see. Yeah.
You got to be real careful because you don't want to put the trailer on a fire hydrant because they will mess it up. And, then all of a sudden we got water on cold and then we
Yep.
got a mess and, you don't want any of that. But yeah.
I've gotten stuck and it had to get towed out of the parking lot.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was considered an accident.
Oh,
Or they put it on my
that,
my DAC as
Yeah.
as a accident.
because you got towed. You didn't
Because I
hit
had to get
anything?
towed out. I only got stuck in the snow, but
No.
yeah, didn't know that.
Were you on a thoroughfare?
It was in like a Walmart parking lot.
I don't see how that's private property. I don't
know. I might have got gypped on that, but
You did sound like you got gypped a little bit. I don't know how that worked, but it sounded like you got gypped.
Uh-huh.
There might be more to this story than Chris is telling us to get a
Might be.
the DOT reportable in the Walmart parking lot. I saw that you. How long you been here now? You've been here a good ways.
It's gonna go on 3 years in June, I believe.
Owner operator.
Yep, from day
Owner-op-
one.
From day one.
Uh-huh.
Owner op. You've been through a couple of trucks.
And no, just yeah, I did. As a matter of fact,
Been through a couple.
and if it wasn't for you, I would have been in some real trouble.
No, it wasn't me. It was us.
Or BCB.
It was BCB.
I say you because you were the one who set it up for me to borrow one of your truck while my truck was down for a month.
Yeah.
I
I almost had to convince you. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
almost had to convince you, and I said, dude, I've been doing this a long time. I said, man, I've been owner operator 25. You need to work,
yes.
and I think that it worked out for you. I think it paid
did.
it paid dividends.
Once I realized the extent of the repairs it was going to need,
Right.
I realized real quick. Yeah.
Just work.
Yeah, just work.
Just work. Try to make some money. Try to make an effort. I think that's important. And I just wanted you to tell everybody in a small way that I don't want to say it was me. I want to say it was BCB because everybody here tries to do the same thing. But we're here to help in any way we can. I mean, I felt, and I'm going to tell you, when I found out you were down, I called you.
Yeah,
And talked to you and said, "Hey, this is what needs to happen."
And luckily enough, there was that one truck sitting in Denver.
Yeah, let's go get it.
Yeah, get it.
And
go
use
make
it.
some money.
And go make some money. And you know what? Let's work together. Because what I don't want to see, man, and I don't want to see anybody fail, right? I don't want to see anybody get way behind, because what typically happens is you get far enough behind that you can't
get out of it.
Yeah, you can't get out of the hole, or it just seems so overwhelming.
Right
and
there.
you were that close, right? And I think and we're past that.
Man, you guys have set me up with this new account,
Right.
Whirlpool.
Yeah.
And man, I'm blessed. I feel blessed. Be working for you guys, and you guys really do care. And I love the safety. You guys preach the safety.
Yeah.
And every show that I watch, and good job, by the way, Dylan, on those videos, man. It's kind of like a reminder of my driving habits. When I see those mistakes that are being made,
Right.
good and bad,
Right.
it's like it put a reality check on me. That's what I'm doing. I better let off that gas pedal a little bit.
And I think that's a great point. We talk about that, Chris, when we look at it. And if it was some safety program or some other company producing these videos, it would always be somebody else, right?
Yeah.
But because it's our videos,
Yeah.
it's a big mirror.
Yes.
I mean, it's an opportunity to look at us truly for what we do and what we are. I mean, it's not like we can sit here and say, hey, that's that guy in California that's doing that on a TV set, or they set that up on a training track. Everything we do here is not. It's real life, real stuff.
Yeah.
And I know you're on the show quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I love the show. I try to get on it every morning. It's what do you call it? Checks and balances. You know what I mean? And plus the camaraderie between you guys is funny, man. I love them.
Who is he talking about?
You guys, man. I love the way Rick gives you all a hard time, man.
Oh, great. That's always pleasing to know.
It's fun. It's fun whenever you're not living it.
Yeah, when you're not the victim, I guess it's obviously, no, we have a great time.
You got to get used to it.
Yeah, we have a great time.
I can see the bond you guys have, and I'm glad to have a little small part of that,
Yeah, the safety, what do you get? And let's talk about the show for a minute. I know you're on it a lot. What is some of your favorite stuff from it?
What we just talked about, the camaraderie between you guys. I like hearing perspectives of the other truck drivers that are out there, and what else? I love the interviews. Actually, your interviews are on point, man. Your interviews are right there with Howard Stern, I would say, man.
Oh my God!
Here's a regular Howard Stern.
Shock jock. Oh my God! I would have to cuss. I'm not cussing.
You got to agree.
I'm not a cusser.
He doesn't even cuss anymore. He used to be bad. Now he's mellowed out a lot.
Oh yeah.
But the way you just flow through the interviews, and you really hit the points right, man. And I appreciate that.
It's kind of practice. It's like driving. You got to get it. As long as first time when I came up here, I had Dylan install a clutch.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't know what I was doing up here if there wasn't a clutch going on up here. I'd have to, try to make sure that I could operate this side of the desk, right? Remember when we had that clutch installed, so that I would be able to figure out how to do it back here a lot. So you've been here 3 years as an owner operator, big part of what we do here.
And I'm telling you, the safety show is a whole new thing. I think y'all just had started the safety show. But the safety programs we had in previous companies I worked for were the videos that you got to watch and take the test afterwards. And they were the same videos. I think they were made in the 90s.
Right.
And I mean, they were good. And the more videos you would watch, it would just burn you out. I mean, you just get so burned out. You would actually watch them so many times that you would just remember the questions. And you know how to answer.
I've seen that Wild West episode with.
You lost interest in it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it was a mandatory thing. But this is a whole, this is great. What you guys, the format you guys got, I appreciate it, man.
I wanted, and we, Rick today talked about being, or yesterday talked about being uncomfortable and not getting too comfortable in safety, right? And always working to be better at what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear it from you. What is it we can do better? What is it we need to do more of? What is it we can make better for you guys? Because you're talking to me, not just as a company driver, but as a fellow, as a partner in BCB. You're a business partner with BCB.
Yeah.
As an owner-operator, you carry the flag on the side of your truck,
That's
our
it.
flag, and it is important what you think, and it's important what you do.
I mean, of course, you put me on the spot.
Well, of course, that's why you're here. You're on TV.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
I honestly, man, what you guys got going on is I don't see how you could really improve other than what you do, not being comfortable, expand it. I like the videos of dropping the trailer, right, and
The training videos.
Yeah, the training videos are good. Maybe some more of those.
Yeah, that's a great point. We've talked
I like
about
those. Those are good. Even though I think another video maybe to do is a brake test.
Okay.
How to do a proper brake test, to adjust your slacks. I think the slack adjusters are now
Automatic.
automatic.
Yeah.
You remember the old brake test?
Oh
you used to have to do?
crawl under with a 9/16 and go after it. But you know
I guess
what?
you
We
don't
don't
have to do
really
that anymore.
No.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to. Not if you're certified.
Yeah.
I want a certified tech to do that now.
Uh-huh.
For liability reasons. Plus,
Yeah,
I want
that
to
could
make
be.
sure.
I see that could be a liability.
And if we have, there's a lot to know about brakes. I mean, especially when you crawl up underneath there, you got to really know about how to adjust, and you want to make sure you tighten them down the right way. And then
It's
back
almost
off.
easier just to swing by the loves and have them do it real quick.
Amen. I'm telling you.
That's what I usually do.
Yeah.
Maybe do a video on the backing
Absolutely.
and the proper way to get out and look.
Yeah.
Maybe throw the marker out there
like
as a guideline or something.
I like that. Maybe we
And,
can even get one of you guys to do it for us.
Yeah.
Because
Stop them like you stopped me and say, hey, I need you to back this trailer and start recording them. You can see that sweat dripping.
What are your, as a owner op, and I know you're doing well and everything's going
Yes.
well for you. Everything else going on okay with you got going on at home and what have
Well, I mean, honestly, losing parents, growing up as I didn't have brothers and sisters, man, so I'm kind of a loner, man.
No, I get it.
I've never been married, no kids, so
Right.
it's just, I'm a different breed than a lot of people.
No, that's
I enjoy being single.
no.
I should have been a mountain man, I think.
If my wife's listening, I'm glad I'm married.
But don't think I would love to. I would have loved to have kids and had married. But
Oh, wait. Let me just tell you something, Chris, and I'm going to
I learned from you guys.
No,
man.
did you? I tell you. And I'm going to bring this up to you because I think this is an important lesson for everybody. I have some friends that I've known for a long time that don't have any children. They're married and don't have any children. They are wealthy. Okay, they have lots of money, and they haven't spent any of it. And I'm just telling you, there are pros and cons to not
Yeah.
having kids. I, of course, have a child, and I have no money
Yeah.
because I've spent it all on her, and we'll continue to do so for some innate
For the
reason.
rest of your life.
For the rest
Of
and
her
I can't
life.
figure and yes, wife, I am happy to do it.
Yeah, it's an investment.
So yeah, it is an investment. It's
know
not. You know what? We do what we can. Hey, your truck looks good, by the way.
I'm getting it there. It's
looks
been a
good.
long journey.
Dude,
but
no, it looks good.
I'm
I
gonna
ran out
slap
there.
some more chrome on
Oh
there.
my goodness! Hey, look.
The more chrome, the merrier.
I'm going to tell you, man. I get it. It's a lot of fun to put chrome on the truck. I get it, man. I just want you to make sure that.
It's my home, what
No, I
mean?
get it. I just want you to invest on the inside of it, not necessarily always on the outside, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do what you can to make it better and safer for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And do what you can to keep it in top rating. But I listened to it. I ran out there and listened to it. It looked good. Listens good. Sounds good. Make sure you
Runs
got
great.
good. Yeah, it's running. It looks like it's running great.
Yeah, I got to go get some brake work done. That's where I was heading on
Oh
the
yeah.
big drag.
You know
to get
what?
that.
When you can stay ahead of the game,
Yes,
it makes it a whole lot easier, doesn't it?
Man, I'm telling you, but it's just trying to stay ahead of it's the chore.
So let me ask you a quick question. We've been talking this week about intersections, right?
Mhm.
Do you remember that? We've been talking.
Oh, yeah.
So Monday it was green. It was traffic controlled lights with a stale green light. It was traffic controlled intersections. And then yesterday it was merge points.
Right.
And then today it's crossings.
Yep.
And it was right. We did crossings today. Yeah, we did railroad crossings. We did school crossings. We did and intersections. And so I was talking to my buddy who doesn't drive a truck. And believe it or not, I actually have a friend that doesn't drive trucks. I know that's shocking, Dylan.
They're out there?
They are out there. And he was like, hey, you know, we were talking about a school zone. I mean, a school bus parking, and when those lights come on, I was like, that creates an intersection. And he's like, what are you talking about?
That's right.
I said, no, that creates a crosswalk.
Yep.
I mean, that's what that means. That's an intersection it's a mobile intersection. Every time those lights come on, you're encountering a crosswalk for children.
Right.
And as long as those lights are on, there's someone in or entering that crosswalk, which the law says you have to yield to.
Absolutely.
So you just gotta pay attention to those things. And we when you see those things on the road, and you encounter these different intersections like what's your deal when you see
Your first instinct, even your first instincts with the school bus is as soon as those lights start flashing, you get the stop sign that comes out, you automatically you start stopping.
What do you think about those people that go way around and do all that stuff?
I have never seen. I've always seen everybody on both sides have always usually stopped for the
Right.
school bus. I've never seen it. God forbid it ever happened.
Right.
But there are crazy people out there that just don't care. And then on the railroad tracks, the only reason why I stop to slow down, I don't come to a complete stop like some trucks do. I just don't want to go over those rails and everything on my shelf fall on top of me. You know what I mean? Because they're not smooth roads, so you just kind of ease
Maybe
up over the track.
we might need to talk about all your stuff up there on the shelf.
But it works both ways. It keeps my stuff up there, and I'm doing something safe, just in case.
So you're slowing down so you don't get bonked on the head by the stuff up in the shelves above you.
Right.
Hey, I like honesty, but these topics that we talk about, I got some exciting stuff to talk about tomorrow and stuff like that. I can't wait. But it's nice that you come on here, and it's nice that you talk about what we do here, and make and this is your chance to give a shout out to the new people. What do you want to tell the new people at BCB if you had an opportunity?
Give it some time. Listen to your DM, and do your pre-trips every day.
I like it. That's a great message.
Take care of your equipment, and it'll take care of you.
That's right.
I mean, I'm a believer in that now. I didn't used to be.
Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate you coming on and joining.
I appreciate you having me.
And if you'll give me just a minute, I'm going to say a quick prayer. We'll get out of here.
Absolutely.
All right. Heavenly Father, we gather before you today on this Thankful Thursday to say thank you. To say thank you for all that you have given us and all the drivers that you have given BCB. We ask that you protect and watch over them today. Keep them safe, keep them protected, and allow them to make great decisions out there on the road as they travel the highways and byways of America. Do what you can to watch out for them and everyone else around them. Thank you. In your name we pray. Amen. Hey, everybody, have a great and wonderful day. We'll see y'all at 2:30.